Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back to Woodcraft. My name is Joe. Thank you very much for stopping by today. I do appreciate your time very much. I have something just a little bit different planned for today. About a year ago, I actually think it's been a little bit more, but it doesn't matter. I was tagged in a video chain that went on for a long time. It was really cool. It was, what is your EDC gear? What do you carry on your body every day? Well, just to kind of give this some reference, I want to do this again simply because, you know, it's been a year, it's been a long time. You know, ideologies change, our place in life changes, just the way we view what we want to carry changes, or maybe what we plan for as far as how we react to it and what gear we carry changes. So I wanted to kind of go over that. It's been a long time, and I know what I carry and how I do things has changed a good bit over the last year. And I wanted to kind of get that chain of communication started again. Namely because last year when this happened, I learned a lot. Number one, I learned a lot about the folks that I interact with here on YouTube, seeing what they carry every day and hearing some of their thoughts on what and why they carry. You know, it helps me learn and get to know my friends better, friends that I've met here on YouTube and Facebook and other forms of social media. It also makes me kind of introspective. It looks at the gear that I carry as compared to what they carry. And, you know, I got a lot of really good ideas. It showed me some holes in what I carry versus what I planned for in my ideologies, stuff like that. So, you know, it's a learning experience. So anyway, without further ado, it's been a year. Let's go ahead and go over what I still carry, kind of view what has changed, and talk a little bit about why I carry what I carry. Welcome to my stump top. Let's talk about the core of what I carry and overall basically what hasn't changed over the last year. Some of the gear itself may have changed. However, at the same time, conceptually, it is basically the same thing. Still carry a wallet, obviously. I'm sure most of us do. Still have a cell phone, still the same cell phone. It's a Galaxy S4, living in yesterday's technology, but this is probably my most used piece of EDC gear. Probably the same for most of us. I have a Rite in Rain notebook. Still carrying my Swiss Army knife. I honestly don't know right off the top of my head what the model is. Don't really see it very often. It is the one that differentiates it. It has both the scissors and the pliers and the hook on the back, if that gives you some reference for which model it is. To be quite frank, this is probably my most used EDC knife. Still carry a lighter. This is not a Bic, obviously. This is a crystal. It's mostly known in Europe. I like it. It's the same concept as a Bic, but it is refillable. Aside from my cell phone, this pen right here, I've carried it every day for a year or more. It's a Blaze Orange Rite in Rain pen. Cartridge lasts for a long time. It's just a good, reliable pen. Carry it in my pocket every day. As you guys can see from the wear marks, use it all the time. One thing that has changed slightly over the last year, now obviously if you were around for that video, the make and model of my main flashlight is different. This is Jet Beam. You guys will see a video on this, so I'm not going to tear into it too much. This is my main flashlight, or the one that's clipped to the top of my pocket, so it's easy to get to. I do carry a backup. This is an Olight i3S. Excellent flashlight. This is just a lanyard I made to connect my keys to my ferro rod, or vice versa, depending on how you want to look at it. My thoughts behind that are simple. 99.9% of the time, if I'm awake and vertical, I have my keys in my pocket. And what's the easiest way to always have an option for fire with you is to attach it to something that you always have with you. So this is just the lanyard I made up to attach my light my fire Army model ferro rod to my keys. And I've also got probably 5, 6, maybe 7 feet of paracord attached to it as well if I ever needed to break it down. And I actually have had to break this down on one occasion in my life, so it has come in handy. It's not just you know, paranoid preparedness, so to speak. As far as my main blade, so to speak, I do use this one probably the most, just simply because it is basically a multi-tool. But if I'm using a cutting tool, this is the one I've been carrying for about a month. It's a Schrade SCHA 13B, I believe. It is an assisted opening. How fun is that? That just doesn't get old. It does have the recurve design that I like so much, but anyway, we'll talk about that in its own video. This is the stuff that has conceptually not really changed over the last year. Some of the actual make and models have changed, but conceptually they are the same. Let me clear this off and I'll talk about some stuff that, while I did carry it last year, I didn't really highlight it last year. And then we'll get on to the very few items that actually have changed. Something we don't talk about too much on this channel, we have broached it a little bit, which has been on purpose up until here recently. I am going to start incorporating it a little bit more. I'm a firm believer in concealed carry. If it is legal in your state and you are legally allowed to conceal carry a firearm, I basically view that as the responsible thing to do as an American citizen. So that being said, I have carried almost on a daily basis for the last 12 years of my life. This is a Glock 19 and a C-TAC holster, in waistband holster if you care, and 1 mag reload. We'll talk more about, I know this mag is not a factory mag, we'll talk more about this in the future. Now for the part that has changed quite a bit. Well, some of this is a recent addition. It's spawned by a recent hobby, at least most of it. My wallet is here. I know I already showed that. It's because these 2 items go in my wallet. This is a Sparrow Hall Pass. It is for bypassing many common door locks. This is a TIK or a TIHK key. It is nothing more than just a very concealable, everyday carry type style handcuff key. I will go over why I'm carrying these here in just a second. In the last 6 months or so, I've delved fairly heavily into lock picking. It's a fun hobby, so it's kind of hard to explain unless you actually do it. I have absolutely no plans on breaking the law or gaining entry into any place that I am not allowed to, or picking any lock that is not mine or don't have permission to. But it's just a very difficult puzzle. It's fun, but also I do think that this stuff does bear some relevance into how we EDC or how we live our life, especially when you take into consideration my viewpoint or my philosophy on, carrying a firearm on a daily basis. Be prepared to defend yourself on a daily basis. The handcuff key, I'm going to go into this short. There probably will be a video explaining this even more, but as far as a handcuff key, just hit Google up and enter home invasion handcuffs. It is not uncommon at all for a home invader to actually handcuff the people that are in the house. I do kind of view carrying that as borderline paranoid, but at the same time, with its footprint, how lightweight it is, it's almost silly not to. Put it on your belt and you forget that it's even there until, hopefully you never need it. This right here is a South Ord jackknife. It just comes with many common picks. I've actually altered those. I have a video on it. This is a Bogota pie set. You can get these from searpick.com. There is a full lineup and review coming on these right here. I wanted to get used to them, get proficient with them so I could accurately show off to you guys their capabilities. But now that I've explained what these are, why do I feel like that this is something that should belong in someone's EDC gear? Especially when you take into account a philosophy of being prepared for self-defense. Well, if you look in the news here recently, the deal in Florida, there was a high school shooting out west a couple years ago where the bad guys, and for some unfortunate circumstances, some good guys accidentally locked doors and people ended up getting trapped in the building. Having the skills to bypass and or pick a lock from a door that you really need to get through to stay safe, it just seems wise to me. But on top of that, it's just a really fun hobby. Like I said, I view picking locks as kind of like a really hard puzzle. It's a great way to spend your time, at least for me, for guys that enjoy chess or Sudoku or, stuff like that. It's fun. But flip the coin, I know it can seem kind of paranoid. It's up to you. We'll be talking more about stuff like this in the future. And there you have it, folks. For the guys that have been around for a long time, that were here a year ago or whenever that took place, you recognize a lot of that stuff. A lot of it hasn't changed at all, and some of it only changed a little bit. There's been some new stuff added to the pile, and some stuff has gone away. You've seen how my gear has changed. I want to know how your gear has changed in the last year. Make a comment below. Let's talk about this. List what you want to carry. If you have a YouTube channel, throw up a video. Let's just start a discussion, learn from each other, and also just get to know each other better. I would like to take a moment to tag 3 of my close friends. I want to hit up Ben from Living Survival. Great channel. I'm sure most of you guys are aware of his channel and probably already subscribed to him. Also want to hit up Jonathan Heffron from the Wingman 115 channel. Also a much larger channel than mine, so I'm sure most of you guys are aware of his channel. And also I want to hit up a good friend of mine, Tyler White. He runs T-Jack Survival. Run over there and hit up his channel. He runs a great channel. It's somewhat similar to my channel, but also somewhat not. He's got a very interesting perspective on life and how he does things. It's awesome. I have learned a lot from him. There will be links in the description of this video to all 3 of those channels. I highly encourage you guys to run over there and check them out and give them a sub if you want to see more of their content. Anyway, folks, thank you again for being here today. If you've enjoyed this video, found it helpful, maybe learned something, or just plain old enjoyed it, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it very much. Also, there's a red subscribe button right down here. If you enjoy content such as this, having discussions like this, please make sure to make use of that. And also, guys, like I said before, please hit up the comments section. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about other EDC gear and basically anything else you guys want to talk about. Anyway, thank you again for being here today, and I will see you next time. You guys have a great day.